Hey y'all, this is an impromptu live. Not sure how long it's going to be, but self promotion is very difficult for me. And I know I can't be the only one, but when I am looking to market, like my business that I founded, Free Black Women Virtual Solutions, and telling people what I do, it is sometimes the hardest thing for me to talk about what I'm doing. And if you're struggling with this too, know that you're not alone. I think the roots of this are being told throughout our lives that we can't take up space, that we have to shrink for other people's comfort a lot. So if you are struggling with self promotion and you really want to tell people what you're doing in order for them to know how to support you, but you struggle with that, know that that is normal from living in a society that tells you to shrink all the time, that tells you to not talk about what you're doing, to be humble all the time. I think as Black women, we hear that message so often and so intensely. No matter what we do, we're always told don't be too loud, don't talk about yourself too much, don't be conceited, humble yourself. And when we do talk about what we're doing, what we've accomplished, it's not always received well. So these are real things that we experience that lead us to feeling like we cannot tell people what we're doing, that lead us to believe that we cannot self-promote. We can't, tell people subscribe here, sign up for this, because it feels like we're taking up too much space. But you're not, because in order for people to support you, you have to tell them how to support you. And this is not just in business, although this is a concept for entrepreneurship, right? You have to tell people where to go, how to buy all of these things. But in life, you also have to tell people how to support you. And a lot of times we're not told this. And when we do voice a concern or voice a need, it's not received well. So that leads us to being afraid to voice these things in the future. But if you struggle with self promotion, if you struggle with putting your stuff out there that you create, know that you're not alone. Know that I am going through the exact same thing at this moment. Kind of just wanting to shrink back and not share what I'm doing and just do it, in the dark like I have been in the past, especially as an introvert. If you're an introvert, you know how difficult it is to even talk about what you're doing sometimes because it feels so scary and out of your comfort zone. So self promotion is doable. And I think if the more of us that share how hard it is to promote what you're doing when you've been constantly told to be quiet, to keep it under wraps, to be humble, all of these messages that society likes to tell us as women, and especially as Black women, that message is amplified, what we receive throughout our lives, to not talk about all of the amazing things we have going on, all of the amazing things we're creating behind the scenes that we want people to partake in, to support. So it's really like a deep unlearning process. It's not just like go out there and promote what you're doing and it's fine. Although a lot of the messages that we receive again tell us that it should be that easy to self promote, but it's not because it's tied to a lot of different things. And we don't feel like we can take up space a lot. So that's very real. Hey, Mara. Hey, it's good to see you. But yes, self promotion. Self promotion. If you are struggling with that, that is real. And I am too. It doesn't feel comfortable, right? It doesn't feel comfortable to take up space, because it feels like bragging often, even though it's not. It doesn't feel okay. It feels more comfortable to go back in the shadows, work on stuff in private, but that's not serving you, and it's not serving the people that you want to serve either when you don't put your stuff out there. So I think coming into being more comfortable, yes, Era, yes. You don't want to feel arrogant or that you're using people. Yes. Yes. That's kind of what I'm struggling with too. Like, I don't want to be seen as arrogant. I don't want to be seen as bragging about what I'm doing. But the truth is, I'm not, and you're not either. You are simply telling people what you're creating to attract your people, to attract your audience. And people want to support what you're doing. Your people want to support what you're doing. So, no, you're not doing too much. You're not being arrogant. You're not bragging. It's okay. It's okay to promote what you're doing, to get your message out there, to get your work out there, to have more people see it, because more people need to see it, because what you're creating is amazing. And it can change and help so many people. And I think as we bravely and boldly put our ideas out there, it heals us too. Because a lot of these things just sit inside of us for so long, a lot of these ideas, and it feels like we can never express them because we are so afraid of what other people might say. So, again, self promotion is okay. It's okay to tell people what you're doing. And it's also okay to realize that it is a struggle when we've been told throughout our lives. Don't say too much. Don't take up too much space. And if you have had, family members, friends around you, people around you who have been envious and jealous, something that we talked about. Alicia Renice hosted a gathering on her Patreon over the weekend. The envy and jealousy that we experience in our childhoods really can impact the way we feel like we're able to show up in the world as adults, especially when we're working on things like building a business, things like creating art and putting it out there in front of people. Those messages that people have told you throughout your life that you need to shrink and you need to not take up too space, because now you're doing something with their shine. Now you're interrupting their shine, as if it's a pie and only so many people can have shine. Those messages that we receive in childhood are very powerful, and they carry through to adulthood. So we feel like we have to shrink still. Even though we're not in that same environment anymore, our body responds similarly, because that trauma of the people who are supposed to care for you and support you and uplift you being jealous and envious of what you're doing, that trauma is stored in your body. And so your body will react similarly when it feels like it's in a similar situation. So it's really important to recognize that no, nothing is wrong with you. If you're afraid to promote what you're doing, these are things that are rooted in our childhoods, often very deep issues. But if we are in community like this one I'm creating here, hopefully you feel okay to put your stuff out there in the world. You feel okay to, hello, hi, thank you for joining. But you feel okay to put your stuff out there in the world. You feel okay to self-promote and tell people what you're doing and be bold about it and say, yeah, I created this and it's amazing, because it is. That's not bragging. You're being honest. What you created is amazing. And people who want to support you need to know how to. So it's okay to self-promote. Just came on here to say that. And if you're struggling with that, that's okay too. The more that you can bring awareness to the fact that you are struggling with that, the more you may be able to identify the roots of that and start to heal those wounds that you experienced early on with people telling you to shrink, to not take up space, to dim your light so they can shine brighter. We know that we are in constant competition in the society that we live in with each other, with the people who should be caring for us and telling us that we're brilliant, they often compete with us too. They often view us as a threat because of the hyper competitive society that we live in. It tells us that everything is a zero sum game. It tells us that if this person shines, that means that I can't shine. That's not true. So these are very deep societal messages that we're dealing with and grappling with that leads to our fear of self-promotion, our inability, or not even an inability, but discomfort with telling people what we're doing and promoting the amazing things that we're working on. But I just wanted to leave you with this message that what you're working on deserves to be in the world to serve not only the people that you want to serve with your message, but you as well. Because the more that these messages continue to stay in you, the more these ideas continue to stay in you, it harms you. It can make you sick. Because when you receive an idea or a message to carry out and it just stays there and it doesn't have an outlet, that is stored energy within your body. So self-promoting is okay. It's okay to tell people what you're doing. We want to support what you're doing. We want to uplift you, encourage you at every step of the way, because that's rare. Unfortunately, that is rare in this society. But the more of us who can create safe spaces where put your stuff out there, self-promote. I'm going to support whatever you do, right? That's powerful. So it's okay if you have trouble self-promoting. It's natural in this society, but know that you can work through that and you can get through that, and your ideas deserve to be heard. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Dark Nate, yeah, and remember, not everything is for everybody. Some people may not like it, it's okay, but others will. That's so important to remember, to not be discouraged. Absolutely. Yeah, the people who don't like what you're doing, those are not your people. That's not your target audience when we're talking about online entrepreneurship. That's not your audience. You create stuff that resonates with your audience, and part of putting stuff out there is attracting and also repelling. Your stuff is not for everyone. You don't want everyone getting your energy, right? Your energy is precious, your energy is limited. So you don't want everyone to have access to that. So the more that you are able to authentically put yourself out there, authentically self-promote, the more that your people will be drawn to you, and the people who aren't your people will kind of fall off, which is what you want. You don't want everyone around you soaking up your energy. Hey, yes. Hello, hello. Yes, self-promotion. Yeah. I'm going through it. I'm going through it. It's difficult. Because again, we're told to shrink throughout our entire lives, and then expected once we come into adulthood to just release everything that we've been taught and conditioned throughout our lives. And that's difficult. It's very difficult. And so I just want y'all to not take that blame onto yourself. Like, why can't I put myself out there? Why can't I just promote what I'm doing? Well, because there's a lot of roots and a lot of wounds that we have based in childhood, based in the society we live in, that tell us it's not okay to self-promote. So it's okay if you're experiencing these feelings. The more that you're in a supportive community that allows you to self-promote and encourages you and supports you at every step of the way, the more that you are able to put yourself out there. Yes, yes. Top 5 book listenability, absolutely. Yes. So know that you're not alone if self-promotion is hard for you. It's very hard for me too. Even as I am, working towards putting my stuff out there for people and helping other people learn that it's okay to self-promote, I am still dealing with this too. I am still dealing with childhood wounds of, people competing with me who are supposed to be supporting, uplifting me. And those wounds they're still there, They're not, I think with healing, I don't even like the term healed. because it's like these wounds will continue to be opened as you put your stuff out there, as you may face rejection. Like the Dark Knight said, not everything you create is for everyone. And so the people who it's not for, you may experience rejection from them. That's okay. It's okay. You want to repel people. You don't want everyone around you being able to soak up your energy. You don't. Yes, yes, yes. So know that it's okay, again, to self promote. We are here to support what you're doing. We are here to uplift you, encourage you, and let you know that it's okay if you have trouble with that. It's okay because we're experiencing that too. These are roots of not wanting to even put what you're doing out in the world. They're deep and they're rooted in really traumatic situations sometimes, and that cannot be overlooked. Um, yes, repelling is necessary. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Right. Other people have their own standards they think you have to adhere to. Yep. True. I find self promotion so much easier in my own business rather than at work. That's true. My business is more pure and about me proving myself to myself. At work, I'm proving myself to others and I don't like it. Ooh, that is a whole word. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I agree. I agree. Again, toxic work environments, we got to go back to that. But yeah, my experience self promoting in a toxic work environment was also harmful. And I'm also dealing with that as well. So as we go throughout our lives, we have different experiences that reopen those wounds and make the wounds even deeper. And then we're trying to self promote and do something that brings us so much joy. So it is difficult. It is. And I agree that promoting myself in my business, because I kind of have control over the messaging, is much easier. So thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank y'all for all of your comments. I'm always surprised when people come onto my live streams because I just, be pressing go live. But yes, yes, self promotion is hard for a lot of us. And the reasons for that are real. And they're tied to real experiences that we have had throughout our lives. But know that it's okay to self promote. You're not bragging. And even if you are, who cares? Brag. You're doing amazing things. And they deserve to be shared with the world. And you deserve to have that energy release. Because as we sit with ideas, as we sit with things that we want to do, it becomes heavy. And Alicia talks about this a lot on her channel. But it does become heavy. So it serves you and it serves the people that you want to serve as well when you are able to bring awareness to why it may be hard to self promote and also work through those feelings and heal at the same time and share your message with the world. Yes. Brag. It's okay to brag. It's okay to brag. I know we're told throughout our lives we shouldn't brag. Why not? Who said? Who said? We're doing amazing things. Amazing things. Sharing our things with the world is not easy. And a lot of the things we're doing takes so much effort. And I know for me, I downplay that effort all the time. I'm like, girl, you know that you were just sitting here working on that for like days, making sure it was perfect. And I'm like, oh, I just did this little thing. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of effort. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's for me. Sorry. Yes. 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 Thank you. Yes. I feel like bragging only becomes bad once you use it to degrade others. I brag, but I always uplift others because I want others to feel this too. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And that tie to downgrading others, what others are doing when you brag. That's true. It's okay to put yourself on, because that doesn't mean that you're putting someone else down while you're doing that. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, thank you. But yeah, self promotion is hard. It is. And I think the title of the video, why is it hard? Because we're told to not do it our entire lives. Anytime we try to promote ourselves and what we were doing and try to share what we were doing with the people who were supposed to be supporting, uplifting, encouraging us, guiding us, it wasn't received well for a lot of us. So it's undoing a lot of these messages that we have been told, that we had to shrink to be safe. We had to dim our light, dim our voice, so that other people could feel okay, other people who were insecure. And this entire society and culture thrives on insecurity. And it's just whose light can I steal to feel brighter? It's really, really disgusting and disturbing. So know that if you're experiencing this, you're not alone. And the roots of this are very real. Hey, Welcome to Build Wealth. Welcome. Y'all are really making much needed spaces on YouTube. People are in need of y'all. Yes, 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 thank you. Yes, I have learned so much from Alicia's channel. So, yes, yes, yes. But yeah, I think that's all. Kind of wrapping up, but yes, self promotion is okay, and we want to support you. Your people want to support you. The people who don't want to support you are not your people. You don't need to be worried about them. And I know that can feel hard, especially as people pleasers, being told that we have to appeal to everyone and we have to get everyone's approval in order to be safe. But the truth is, you don't. The truth is, you don't. As an adult, you have the power to repel people who don't deserve to share your energy and don't deserve to have access to you. And as you self-promote authentically, you attract your people, you attract your audience, and you also repel the people who don't need to be around you. So, yes, 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 thank you. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for showing up. So appreciate it. And until next time, remember, self-promotion is okay. And it's okay to bring awareness to the fact that it is hard. It's not easy. The people who don't want to support you are not your people. They're not. They're not. Nope. You can tell them to kindly go over there, because you have things to share with the world that benefits you, benefits the people you serve, and the people who don't appreciate that are not meant to be anywhere in your orbit. They don't deserve to have access to your precious, sacred energy. So, yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, I will be going live with Rochelle tonight to talk about navigating life in our 20s, which, it's been a rough ride, y'all, in the last year of my 20s, but be speaking with Rochelle, who is in her early 20s. So that should be a great conversation tonight. But until next time, y'all, thank y'all for joining.